Eight.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bridge the Gap, the show over here behind that suit where we talk to smart people like Mr. KB over here, and we learn their stories and we go through their life and we discuss different tangential points and we it gets convoluted, it gets messy, but we learn some history, we get some opinions, and ultimately everybody gets to get come out of it with a few more knowledge nuggets than we all had before, and that's real exciting. Prior to this stream, we was just bumping your music, man, and yo, KB was just in the chat. Like, I don't think I've ever seen somebody so enthused in participating in their own pre-interview before. So big ups to you for that. That made me happy. That got me even more excited to do this with you. This guy's
Straight up.
this guy's a character, and I gotta say, yo, here's the thing. For me, when I see you in the chats there, and I see you showing love like that, and I see you just being this person, like we didn't even know each other 3 weeks ago, right? Like, it's just we didn't even know. It just randomly happened, and then ever since that moment when we first talked and set up the interview, the guy's been showing the likes. The guy's been Mr. Positivity. And then I listen to the music, right? Because at the end of the day, it's kind of like you kind of want to make sure it's not whack. And it was not whack. In fact, there's some banger ass shit that's going on. And then we dig a little further and realize he's involved with Merkers and all this. And, you know, linking up with Merker, who we just did the interview with. And it just fucking links up the whole world into a connected, beautiful Zen place. But for real, your energy is ridiculous. I love the way you utilize emoticons to express yourself in with the kaboom boom stuff. All of that. It's just beautiful branding. It gets me hyped up whenever I see it. I'm real excited to get to know you better because, frankly, I don't know very much about you at all. I'll be real with you. But that's okay. We're gonna talk about the kind of stuff that would end up in your Wikipedia page after we talk about this
Right,
shit.
right. Absolutely, absolutely.
So, yo,
Absolutely. And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. Honestly, uh, we need things like this. This is something that we definitely need. And starting it this way for 2021, I'm definitely excited. So, I definitely want to put 110% in it. You know how that goes, because can't go backwards with this. I'll tell you that. So got to make it better and better, better every time we step in here. You know what I mean? So
I feel it, man.
I'm proud. I'm proud of this. I'm proud of this, and I appreciate the honor of having me too. Definitely.
Honestly, man, I heard your music, and it's like, hey, look, part of what we're trying to do here is capture the story of Montreal. You're clearly a part of the
Mm,
story of Montreal. I mean, from the involvement with the other people, you're definitely a guy who started in the game before I started in the game. I don't know
mm,
that much. I should know a lot more. A lot of people are
mm.
more like me than there should be. So it's just an honor to have you share your time with us, man. Because, yo, one day down the line, maybe a lot of people are going to say some things. But for a long time, it was hard to get people like you to even want to, like, take an interest. And not to say maybe I didn't do it right. Maybe I didn't market myself correctly or present it, all the other things. But to have you here and be so excited for it is just a blessing for all of us with it. But with that, I think we can get into it. We're going to start that first question up. But actually, the new first question is one I'm going to try and remember to ask right away. Where are you born?
So I'm straight up born here in Montreal, raised
Beautiful.
in Montreal, and my background is Jamaica. As you can see in my lyrics, you know what it is. I keep my roots very close to me. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, but Montreal is where it's from. Montreal is my back on my whole city on my back, straight up.
I love it, man. I mean, myself, I'm also born
Definitely,
and raised here. So when I hear that, it always just makes me feel like, yo, we the same team at the end of the day. And that just is a
absolutely,
beautiful thing. And I love the way you're about that
absolutely.
energy. So let's get into
Yeah,
the first real question of the interview. And if you've watched it before, you might know it. But for those that are going to see this in the future, it is what it is. So my
yeah,
girlfriend, she's washing some dishes one day, and she's bumping that Black Eyed Peas song, that I got a feeling shit. And why that
mhm.
song hit me is because, yo, once upon a time, I remember being in the club myself doing my turn up that block, and I was doing my little jumpy dance that we all did in the circle. And always like a big circle would form and shit. Anyway, but
Yeah,
now it's like
yeah,
chores music, right? And it used to be like
yeah,
clubbing music and shit. And then that made me
yeah,
think about chores and how my mom would play discos and my dad was into
mhm,
the Zeppelins and things like that,
mhm,
right? And I realized that before I had a say in music, it was a lot of what my parents were listening to, right? So for your musical journey and shit, it doesn't necessarily start when you get into music. It starts before that with your environment. It starts with the stuff that
Yeah,
was happening when chores was getting set up. It starts with those
yeah,
car rides. I don't know if you have siblings, but it
yeah,
starts with the siblings. It starts with all of
yeah,
this stuff.
yeah.
So tell us a little
100.
bit about what the music was like when you were a youth growing up.
100, 100. And I love how you put that together. That is so professionalism. So
Thank you.
definitely, definitely, definitely. And it's funny you mentioned, you see, that's how you see how connection is real. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I actually grew up off of Led Zeppelin. I grew up with my father first off. Uh, my mother was definitely around, definitely, but my father's who I was raised with, and my father's a musician himself.
Mm.
So I definitely grew up off of Led Zeppelin, The Doors. Uh, oh man, all kinds, all kinds. We definitely branched out. We didn't stick to like just Caribbean music, right?
Right.
So definitely, my family does have a big impact in the fact that I'm into my into the music as well. So I do definitely appreciate it, but I definitely, during them times, because my father's a Rasta, he's a dread, so
Okay.
it's very cultural with them. They speak very spiritual. So
So I kind of know, but I don't fully know. If you do want to elaborate a little bit, everyone benefits.
A Rastafarian is like Bob Marley,
Right.
right? You're not gonna hear Bob Marley, speaking no twings and twangs, right? He's gonna give it to you directly, spiritually, and make sure that you get a positive energy out of his messages, right?
Okay. Okay, I see what you mean.
So that's more what a Rasta man does, but he also keeps it pure, as even the things he eats and stuff like that, right? What you consume in your body. So that's a Rasta man. Or a Rasta woman. You have Rasta women too, get me twisted. You got some Rasta women too out there that are definitely, more really than the Rasta man them out there, you could say.
I respect that.
Absolutely. So we definitely grew up in the music business. For my cousins, my older cousins being really heavy in the DJ business. We grew up around a lot of artists around us, so it's like it was definitely a blessing to have that, opportunity to
So you're saying like when
take
you
that
were,
knowledge.
so you were like a kid, and all of this was happening around you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. I used to spend hours. My dad had a studio called Young Lions, Young
Okay.
Lions Production, and I think my first time actually really getting intrigued is when one day I used to go there all the time, but I got intrigued when I met Dub Matic. I don't know if I don't remember if you remember. There used to be a French, French English a little bit, but they were big in Montreal a little bit, Toronto, Montreal, Canada. But Dub Matic, they were pretty big, and I met them, so that opened up my door a little bit when I met them at the studio, and it's like, okay, I want to get involved too, so definitely, definitely big impact.
So in your case, it really is one of those situations where from the jump, music was around you, but not just like the regular sense of it, where like my dad would be busting out his tapes and shit. It's more like, nah, you're going to a studio. It's like Empire, maybe small scale,
Yeah,
but like on Empire when they're
yeah,
watching dad make like these hit songs in the fucking lab and shit,
yeah,
right? Like that's kind of what I'm
yeah, yeah,
picturing.
yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But there's the pros and the cons because you take it for granted. That's what ends up happening when you have something so accessible. You take it for granted, so it slows things down a bit. You know what I mean? So this is what ends up happening, especially at my age when you're changing, revolution, evolution into how the hip hop started, coming around, especially in Montreal. Like shit, man. Like I think when I grew up, my first hip hop song was hearing was shit like here, especially like here in Montreal. Like I know a lot of songs, like but like hear what I would say like things that we used to like put on our tape decks and stuff like
How young were
friggin'
you when it was like? Hold up, was the Montreal hip hop scene just always a part of your life? Uh,
no, not quite, not quite. Like when I say like, I mean, it was more reggae, but like I said, like I grew up off of like Led Zeppelin and songs like that, right? Like a lot of like pop songs and stuff like that. But rap was a little bit more different. Like I knew about it, but we didn't have too much access to it. So
okay,
even when Dangerous Mind, I don't know if you remember Dangerous Mind, that movie,
with the
Dangerous
Gangster's
Mind with
Paradise, right?
cool, yeah, exactly, Gangsta's Paradise. I think that was like a rotation for like forever, but it was like something that was captivating to us where we started dabbling into it. And then I met Mobb Deep. And then when Mobb Deep came in, and then it was Tupac, and then things started
All
opening
right.
up.
So hold
So
up. What do you remember when that was? And let's just let's roll it back. So you're young,
yeah,
you got the studio going on. Um, y'all are in the vinyl era, the tape era. Like, what era are you in? How is y'all bumping
no,
music?
honestly, I was more into the tapes, but my dad did have a lot of vinyls. But most of those vinyls, again, those were more like, yo, those are like some Luther Vandross, like some real like that was some that type of songs,
Right.
right?
Um,
Like
it took a second, but yeah, I do know what you're talking about. I thought about that. It's a da 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 in Luther Van. You know that anyway. So when
yeah.
you bump, and then we got a comment saying, "See, we're bumping that old Buju and stuff," and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Like even Bounty Killer, when Bounty Killer came out with the My Experience and Mob Deep, shit like that, definitely opened the door for me as like getting into this music and what I wanted to get involved with. So
and this is all
it was just
happening when you're like sincerely really young.
yeah, I was like maybe like 13, 12, 13.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
yeah, I was
crazy
around.
history, right? Because that's the kind, yo, and I know what you're talking about when you say Bounty Killer and that, because I did a Buju Banton album review this year, so I'm reading all this shit on Wikipedia in 2020, and you're living all
Mm,
this shit back in the day and understand it all with a
straight,
much bigger sense of depth than I personally do. But that's
straight,
fucking cool,
straight,
man.
straight.
I really appreciate you
Thank
sharing this for real. This is the kind of shit we're looking for. So is it around 12, 13 then that you really get into music, or like by then do you
you. Nah,
already have a whole like sense of it? You're like already have like your favorite genres and shit from a youth.
not even, not even. Honestly, I was just finding myself. Actually, I was trying to more figure out how to put music in tune because that's one thing that I've always learned is we slacked at that like how to put songs together. Like we were just getting on a song, putting shit together, and it didn't make song. There was no structure with the song. Like I had to learn how to like write. Sometimes I used to even like uh write Tupac songs. I used to write his chorus. Okay, that's the chorus. I know that's a chorus. Okay, I know. I used to learn these things on my own. So that taught me how to kind of put music together. So I focused more on that until I was able to kind of be able to get studio time where I can actually express myself. Because again, I was going with my father's. My father had to be a little bit more cultural. I couldn't really speak my full mind and get
Mm.
get to really know
Well, that's,
myself. So
I mean, that's kind of what it is though
definitely,
with dads, right? Like, I remember
exactly,
being like 12, 13. It's not like I'm going to be speaking my free mind at that age. But I think it's so incredible that already at that age, you're doing such advanced shit and you're getting love from the comments too. It's fucking cool, man. Um,
hey, respect,
so like,
respect.
I think it's just cool that at such a young age you're already taking because what you did is you took the time to map out these songs. So even if you think about it today, for people who want to start writing songs, right? Maybe they
Mhm.
already have a genius.com that already did all the hard work. So fine, it's a little bit lazier. But it's important to still pay attention to how these songs are structured. You can still map out timestamps and look at how long a chorus is and just things like that. So I think like right off the jump, your life is shedding some serious knowledge nuggets that we can extract and apply to our current and existing surroundings. So that's some fire shit to me is all I'm trying to say.
Respect, respect. Honestly, that's how I took it as well. Like I really focus on that, but also, moving forward with that, um, I met one person that I was able to actually be able to express and get into the studio, and then we took it from there. And that was um, right like the year after when my pen game started getting good. I got a little bit more confidence. Around 15 going on 16, I met my boy Action. His name is Action, by the way. Oh, and just to correct, hold on, let me go back 2 seconds on my name, because I know it seems complicated, but I'm gonna tell you what it really is. You guys know the Corleone, right?
Yes. Turkoleone.
Last Turkoleone.
Okay. Okay, Turkoleone.
Turkoleone.
Honestly, I was just gonna be brave, but then Preach and Kobe I jumped on earlier and I said it weird and he's like, nah, just stop. And I'm like, shut up. And he's like, yo, tell him I said hi though. So Preach and Kobe says what's up.
Yeah, I saw that message. Yeah, yeah. Trust me, me and Preach go way back, man. He definitely one of my mentors. I definitely, trust me, way back. Every time I saw him, I always looked at him like a bigger brother, and he always, always had faith in me, and was always able to speak with him genuinely. So he's definitely one of my top notch. I support him 100%.
Yo,
I
same
love what
here,
he's
man.
still doing. So definitely my
Yo,
support.
honestly, no lie, just on that same tip,
Absolutely.
Preach is a big part of why I'm on Twitch. And Preach is also a big part of why there's this pre interview show. He's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing wasting your fucking time starting at 0 and shit? You don't even hit the fucking algorithm till 90 minutes. Waste time for 90 minutes and then start your interview. And I'm like, okay, Preach. Yes, Preach. Because, yo, when he talks to you, he preaches to you. It isn't just talk, it is
Yeah,
preaching. It is an apt name for that man. And all respect to
yeah.
him. So that's really cool though. I guess you're 12, 13, and then you
He's
said you
definitely,
started.
definitely, definitely.
So you had
De-
all of a sudden Coolio, I guess, makes rap mainstream because yo, my mom knew that song. Like my mom can rap that song. So
yeah,
like definitely hit my household as well. Was a big tune. Um, and then after that,
yeah, definitely.
you start discovering hip hop. And tell us also before that, do you dance? Are you a dancer of any kind?
You know what? That's funny you said that. Yeah, well, I do. Well, nothing, no big thing like that. I was actually a good break dancer. I used to love break dancing. Break dancing was like, it was in us. Like, we used to go to the YMCA. There's a YMCA on Park Avenue. They used to have, I don't know if they still have it, they probably still do, but the youth center. I used to go there every day after school. We'd have a little team there. We used to practice our dances, and yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. We used to love doing that stuff. So definitely, yeah. But it wasn't like, nothing to I no nothing extreme to be going on no big stage and dancing like that. No. We probably did that in the club, maybe, do a little 1 2 swirl or whatever, but
All right, we got a question from the homeboy Ismail. Shout out Ismail as always, and he was really feeling your shit before. But who's your favorite b boy crew?
B-boy crew. Back in the day, B-boy crew. What was their name? Oh man, that's a good question. But you know what? It's like on the tip of my tongue. I
Oh,
can't.
and the
What were their
center is
name
still
again?
there, as somebody from the comments is saying, because she still lives in the hood. So the center is still there.
Oh, bless. Trust me. Yeah, his name, the guy that used to run it, name is Brian. I never forget that guy, man. He's another mentor. He used to
Hmm.
always, hey guys, you gotta go do your homework and then you can come play pool. Trust me, that was our spot.
I don't know. I'm not even like. I don't even. I couldn't name five b boy crews if you were to like ask me at all. I just know that I got interested in other parts of the elements, right? Because it's more than just
Yeah.
rapping. Then there's also the DJ production side. Sometimes people dibble and dabble in that. But then there's also the graffiti and drawing side, which was going to be my follow up question. On top of that, is
Mm,
do you draw? Are you into graffiti and all of that stuff?
not, not really. No. Graffiti wasn't really my thing. I was very honestly, when it came to graffitis, I loved the art of it. I understood the culture of it being part of hip hop. But for me to like carry painting in my bag, that was like a no. That's like, not only do I want to get beats from my parents, but that's like automatically with the popo, I just I couldn't see it mixing for me. So graffiti was out of the question.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. Honestly, you have to have real big courage to go out there and do that. Is all I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
it's true. It's true. You're right.
But that's cool though.
Absolutely.
And that's cool about the
Nah,
dancing, yo. You know how many people have talked about the importance of youth centers and the networking potential and the way it links into music on this show? I didn't even like really know because that didn't really happen a lot per se. I mean, I had a youth group at church that did a little bit for me, but like it's really interesting how important having a youth center in certain communities will be in
mhm,
general. And I
mhm.
guess that's something
Yeah,
I've learned as I've started talking to more people who to this day are like, yo, that youth center gave me this opportunity or created a space, and boom,
absolutely.
to this fucking day, I'm doing this shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Actually, uh, to stick onto that subject, um, I used to, right after that, like, after when I started, getting familiar at that age, 15, 16, we actually used to go to the center. I grew up in Park X. That's where I grew up. Originally, I'm from Park X.
Right.
Park Extension, for those that don't know, Park Metro, the Blue Line. That's us right there. So you know what it is. Big up to all my Park X people. You know what it is. We all grew up together. My Greeks, all my Greeks, my Italians, and my Indians. Big up to all my Indians. I tell you. But yeah, yeah. So there was there's it's still there. William, I think it's called William Hingston, which there's actually an auditorium in there. And big up to Jean Babi, and I think you know what, I think they still in dibbling dabbling in that, but they used to rent us out the auditorium, not rent us, but they used to let us come there and practice on stage. You know how to conduct yourself on
Yo.
stage, and how to get familiar with the mic and how to hold the mic, and what I'm saying, they used to give us like 2 3 hours to do these things, and that was definitely a major plus when it came to like building our characters. So definitely, definitely was heavy, 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 definitely.
Yo, shout
You
out
know,
Park X for having that available. Cause yo, Algo
straight.
Cerise is like, yo, he's talking about my hood. This shit's still here, and that's fucking dope. That's really
Ah,
fucking
that's what's
cool.
up. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Trust me, I come from there. That's me right there. I was in I was in Park X when they didn't have I can explain you why they have a fence between Park X and TMR, which is where the Rockland Center.
Let's do it.
They we used to go on that side because TMR is like the fancy side, and they have basketball nets just there, just in front of their garage. And we in Park X, if you know Park X, we got a bunch of alleyways, so we used to just throw those in the alleyways and let the kids play ball. We used to drag that right back into the alleyways, back into Park X, and yeah, 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 yeah. So right away, fence everything up, fence everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy, crazy. Love Park X, man. Love my hood for real, for real.
Big respect, though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So that's cool, man. I know I'm really enjoying this because it's like again, this is all part of Montreal history. This is that like real anecdote shit. This also it's like what your culture was growing up. This is like actually the
Straight,
city. This is actually the life. Because none of
straight,
it's like that today. Everything's different now.
straight. I can tell you, I can believe that. I can believe that. I'm not out there as much now, but I can believe that.
But yeah, so basically you were saying 15, 16, you were going around and you started to move forward, I guess, with stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly. So basically, that's it. So basically, I started really, focusing on what to put out first, which is what I should have gave you first because I forgot to make you run that, which was actually a big track that was actually on Music Music Plus.
Yo, if you want, after we can run that.
Yeah, which is actually the MTL anthem.
Okay.
Big song, big song. That's with me in action. Like I said, big up to Action. Definitely, he definitely was able to see a bigger picture when it came to like this music thing because again we didn't have no internet, so we definitely had to make it work for us, and TV was always the key, and TV I think is still always going to be the key if you're not on TV, and it's easy to drop a video, on
Is it
YouTube and all these things,
Action Montreal Anthem?
Yeah, Action Man.
Yeah, if you want.
It's actually MTL Anthem.
And it's by IKSHUN, man, on this, an
Yeah,
Action Man.
exactly.
Awesome. If you want, I'm gonna have to cover you up though for the screen, but I
Yeah,
can play that
that's fine.
right now. Suppose if we're like talking about this today, it is history that y'all were making. Oh, that was some predictive shit though. Um, yeah, that's fucking dope, dude. That was
Respect.
dope, dude. That's 2006, and you're like, Eddie,
Yeah.
yeah, you making that earworm shit, dog. As much as the verses are fire, everybody was singing your part.
Yeah. Yo, you know what? I know people still step up to me and tell me, yo, they still play that. They still play that in the hood. They like that's like the that was like honestly like it took me even out of surprise because I told you like TV is very powerful, and I learned that off of that. Like when that played on TV, like I was getting phone calls like yo, back to back, and it was like I knew this was it. This was it. That I'm taking it from there. So definitely it was a blessing in disguise to have been able to come up with that. And something, that chorus, I'm probably gonna go a little further with that because that track, um, I was inspired by. I grew up off of DMX.
Hey, I hear it.
DMX.
Yo, DMX is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I grew up off DMX. DMX is like he was basically definitely a lifesaver for me. As a youth. So definitely, growing up to him, trying to find myself. I got me a pity. I grew up off a lot of pits. I used to even wear like I had a wicked dog chain. I had a nice gold dog chain. I used to go to school, high school, my dog chain. I was heavy. Like people didn't know me. I didn't recognize it. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
who's this nigga?" So it's different, It was different. But DMX definitely played a big part in that role right there. That's when but that's a little bit. Yeah, I would say around them times when I really started getting into like, because I think I had another song prior to that was really good too, but this one here was TV, was all TV, so
Yo,
definitely
man,
love that track.
DMX is a cool influence. He's like one of the first rappers I ever like heard. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, straight,
It was
straight.
the Volume 3 album. And Party Up was like a fucking smash hit when I got into music. So like I've been the
Oh
biggest DMX
shit.
fan. I used to go by HSR. And when I do What's My Name, I just go HSR. If y'all want it, you gotta. I just fucking drop my I
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
love it, man. DMX is
yeah. That's a
literally
good. That's a nice entrance. That's a nice entrance.
he's one of my favorite rappers like ever. I'm like
Absolutely,
I'm just waiting for that album. Like that album. I
absolutely,
don't care when it comes. I'm waiting for it for the rest of my life if I have to.
absolutely, absolutely.
Cause yo,
Yeah, I think for me it was the first album that really did it for me, and then the second album was like another part of my chapter in my life,
mm,
which I felt definitely, um, you know, outspoken. And as when you're a kid, them time you don't know what's going on, so you just be like doing whatever. But definitely we had fun when growing up with DMX. Definitely.
that's dope though. I like that. I like the fact that we people can just bond over music like that and have a shared kind of influence. But that's cool. So, all right. So you're in the area and you guys make that happen. But tell us a bit more about how you made this song, cuz that's a big fucking tune. So talk about the story of how this song came to be, cuz that's a fucking cool thing.
Yo, honestly, it's funny because I'm telling you, like well, action, me and action always made great music. That's one thing I can say. I can say we always end up putting our head together, and we always had a chemistry when it came to good music. So when it came to and one thing about me, that's one thing that I was always and still am. I think I personally think like when it comes to choruses, I could probably be one of them icons. So that's what I'm saying. So personally, I mean, I know a lot of great guys I know how to come up with choruses, but I'm good at it. So it's something I'm good at. So Um, just by being able to like express myself, and again, growing up off of DMX, that beat, just the beat alone, just spoke that. You know what I mean? So it just came out that way. So I just gave it to him, and the rest was history. Action already. He's wicked with the pen. So you know what I mean. Put two and two together, but putting it out there to let people know this is our song. Yeah, man. We definitely went downtown. You know, we hit it up downtown and made it with the big box, big speakers. Yeah, we bumped that to
Yo,
left
you
and right.
literally
It was
did
crazy.
that.
Yeah. We went off. We went. Yeah. For sure, for sure. It was crazy. We had people honestly like, yo, not that I'm proud of it, but like, yo, if something for off flipping cars, not flipping, but like, pushing cars and jumping on. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, we made noise like that. Yeah, it was crazy. Tell you, as kids, man, it's crazy.
No, but like, well, how old were you when that happened?
Oh no, we're like, freak, man. No more than 17, 18, going on, yeah, about that. 17, 18.
Yo, that's some crazy
Yeah, man.
shit. No,
Yeah,
but what's
man.
really interesting is like when we think about today, right? And why I love this experience of talking to people like you is a lot of us talk like nobody ever did anything in Montreal.
Yeah,
Y'all like
yeah.
made this banger that people still have heard. Y'all promoted it with such ingenuity, right? Like so far, nobody I've talked to has gone with a boombox and played their shit downtown to be heard.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking
Yeah,
cool.
definitely. Oh
Now,
yeah,
I
definitely.
don't
Killing that.
recommend doing that nowadays because people are fucking weird about that shit. I'm actually that's the one thing. The one thing I'm a little bit jealous of like the older times is that like for some reason you're not allowed to play music in public anymore and people get fucking weird about it. Put on your damn headphones and get the fuck out. But like that seems like a cool thing. And I love the
Yeah,
fact that people are receptive to your tunes. So in a sense, it's like a way you could have validated like is this a hot song or not? And it was
yeah,
clearly hot. That's
yeah.
fucking cool.
For sure.
Did
Yeah,
you
it's a good song, man.
had you already shot the video at that point, or did you go on to shoot the video after that?
Well, it was actually prior to that day of shooting the video. Because we took some time. We had some prior today, so we already inviting people to come shoot with us. Plus, we're blasting the song in the park
Okay,
and
okay.
getting good. So it was like it was crazy, crazy, definitely crazy.
Yo, shout out wear tag for the follow. Just that's the rules. You gotta shut out people when they follow. That's fucking dope.
For
Um,
sure, give everybody shout outs. You know what it is. I mean, it's love.
but that's so cool, dude. I really love how you're just describing. How did you guys actually shoot that video? How did you get the camera? How did you pull that off?
That was all action, honestly. Action already had it all set up. And it was crazy because he was calling me. He's like, yo, he already shot his parts, and it was actually a girl and a guy, and she's like, yo, I'm about to dip. If this guy is not coming, forget it. We'll just use your part, and she cuts up. I'm like, yo, I had to get in a taxi, drive all the way down, come, and then it was a wrap. From I came in and brought that energy in, and forget it. Everybody just people, even regular people on the street, were just stopping and clapping. They're like, oh, nice, nice, good job, good job.
That's dope, man. And you're like,
Yeah, it's
because
good.
y'all gotta understand, it's not just that he's doing this. Because look, anybody can go do that today, and it's insignificant. Let's be real. He's
Yeah,
doing
for
this
sure.
in like 2005, 2006,
Yeah,
at
yeah,
like 17, 18 years old. In
yeah,
an
yeah,
era where doing this kind of thing is hard, okay?
yeah. Nah,
That's big respect, man.
yeah. It was a bit different back then. It's not like now, but back then it was definitely a little bit more technical. But yeah, it was fun. It was definitely more fun. You felt the vibes more than now. I feel like when you do videos, everybody's already they know their position. There's all right, it's just another one of those. But
Ooh.
no, we had fun. We had fun doing videos.
Yeah, nobody in my team knows positions. We fucking suck. So I kind of get what you mean. We just learning on the fly. I'm sitting
Straight.
there shooting shit, and somebody's like, "Dude, you need to get a gimbal. your shit sucks. I'm like, okay, now we got a gimbal on deck, and it's
There
like
you
we're
go.
learning how to use the gimbal. Half the shots have the
Straight,
fucking thing in it. I'm like, oh my god, yo, but it's fun. We're
straight,
at,
straight.
so
Yeah,
I
that's how
kind
you
of
do
get
it.
what you're saying because nobody
That's
knows
how
our
you do
parts
it.
here. But I have worked and I've done a couple of things where people did know their parts, and I get exactly what you're saying with that. So that's a
Mhm.
really interesting thing I never thought about before. I caught at like
Straight,
it's a cool experience, man.
straight. Respect, respect. Definitely blessing, blessing in disguise. Definitely.
So yeah, I guess what comes after that for you?
Well, right after that, um, honestly, we started looking into really starting to like get out there more. So we started hitting up like like we are doing shows after shows, even if they were like for free. Like we used to do it at Club Soda. We used to open up for Club Soda. Uh, there was another one too on. I'm not sure if the Club Soda was it on Park Avenue. There was a spot on Park Avenue, Club Soda. We used to be there every weekend, opening up, for certain artists. There was another one by Saint Laurent. We used to
I'm pretty
open
sure
up
Club Soda is Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent. There's another one on Park Avenue though. I'm not sure. It's right beside. It's right beside the. I don't know if there's. Back then it was La Belle Province. Right beside the La Belle Province, there was a club. I'm pretty sure it was a Club Soda.
Maybe it's a Club Soda. Honestly, I don't know
Back
what it
then,
is.
back then, yeah, back then. I'm
Algo
not too sure,
Cerise
but
knows what you're talking about, so it's a real thing. We know.
definitely. Yo, big up to Algo. Big up to
Tech
Algo.
Luciano says Le Saint Rialto. He's just listing
Oh
places now.
yeah, Rialto. Yeah, definitely. We opened it. Yeah, Rialto was a crazy. Yo, that's when that was a nice spot because it's still nice up to today. That place is very nice. We just actually did a show there not too long ago. I think it was 2 3 years ago with some of my boys. True Hunger. Big up to True Hunger team. You know what it is. They out there too. So yeah, but basically that was it. We were just wanting to start doing some shows, but how we fell off is like I wanted to get more out there, and Action was not feeling that. Action was very more business oriented. So I was just more like, yo, I just want to get out there. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get out there, have some fun, and get the music going. But he was more, conservative. Let's just get this music, concentrate, and focus on like getting this music on TV, which is definitely the key. I've never doubted that. But for me, it was like, okay, whatever, man. They know we on TV, man. Let's go. Let's get on the roads. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's when, things started like saying, you know what, let me just do my own thing. So during them time, I started, refining myself because again, um, as I was going through all that, I was actually, just building up a lot of choruses. Like I said, I was very good at choruses, and I was letting Action take over the verses.
Hmm.
So now I got to put on verses. So not only am I doing choruses, now I got to find verses. So I got to put verses together. So now I got to refine myself and redouble on how am I going to do that and da da da. So I started doing that, and then that's when I met Merker,
Okay.
Mr. Merker himself. So that's exactly when what I'm saying the magic started happening. Mr. Magic Man himself put things together, and it started from there. So that's when the whole history started kicking in. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Bless you.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I feel like this is the kind of shit where being remote is totally cool because if I sneeze, you're not gonna trip on me or nothing.
I know.
It's just like me in my
I
fucking
can't.
room.
I can't spray you with the
No.
with what do you call that?
Yeah,
I
it's
even
the
know what the
worst.
fuck they got in there spraying you with. Fuck.
The Lysols and whatnot. But yeah, this has never happened. I've never had like sneezings and shit go on an interview. So my bad for that. I'm just
Oh,
rolling
no,
with
don't
it.
worry. That's actually a good sign. So that somebody's thinking about you, or you about to get some good buku bucks.
Yo, let's
You know,
hope
and you
that's
under,
that would be lovely, man. No cool bucks would
yeah,
be a
yeah,
lovely thing in life. Not to say that I'm
straight.
not. Look, all things considered, I'm in a good position, and I cannot complain. I mean, I can, but I
Straight.
won't complain because there's a lot of
Exactly.
people that really do have some hard times right now, and all respect and love to them, and I wish them all the best and stuff. But
Straight. Straight.
things are kind of
Straight.
okay for me. They're
There
kind
you
of doing
go.
okay.
There you go. Salute. Salute to that. Many let it stay like that, you know?
Yeah, man. So yeah, let's get back to you. So what was interesting was the idea of how you guys would have you had your different focuses. So he's more interested in the business, and I guess in the back end, you're gonna get a lot more money out of being on TV. So he's thinking about it like that, maybe, and you're like, let's go on the road and kind of push that grind, and then
Well, yeah, but more he was because I don't want to put it like that. I don't want to put it like that because it he was very good with the royalties.
right. And I'm not
It's
even
all
saying it
about the
like in
royalties.
a disrespectful kind of way. Like I'm
Yeah, yeah,
33
no, I
right
get you,
now.
I get you.
I'm saying, yo, if I'm smart about that shit, I'm actually doing that shit. So I'm saying it with actually like more, yo, pay attention to what he's saying here.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
for
money
sure,
is. So it's not meant
for
to be,
sure, for sure.
cause yo, one of the biggest things that I think a lot of artists are struggling with right now is how to monetize effectively, right? And how to
Yeah,
actually get
exactly,
out there.
exactly.
But like I
Yeah,
know my
exactly.
dude Meyer Clarity got his song up on that Kim's Convenience show. And like I'm
Mm,
certain every now and again he
mm.
gets a little check for that.
Yeah,
So
for sure,
like
exactly.
it's cool that you brought
You
that
need
up
that. Yeah, you
cuz
need that. You need that. You need that. Definitely. Royalties is what makes you dibble dabble in the game and let you have the freedom to go out there and express how you want to express yourself, especially when you're putting up your own shows. So what I'm saying, it's very important to get that part done. But at that time, I was like, yo, I'm already hot. I could just go out there. Guy could say, yo, he wants a chorus. That's $50 right there. Da, 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 whatever. Da, da, da. Okay, let's go. So that's how I
hold
was
up, you were
looking at it. I
selling
was just more,
choruses off the jump?
yeah, yeah. What? I'm not gonna name no names, but yeah,
No,
for sure,
that's
bro.
not like no, cause yo, that's a big conversation you see online here and there. Yo, selling versus selling choruses and this and that, and I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, it actually makes sense. Like the big guys actually pay each other. Like it
yeah.
might be formalities and shit, but they actually do pay each other for their features and shit.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Like sometimes, like it's not every one of them I would charge or whatever. Sometimes I would just feel like, yo, I think I can hear one of my dupes them, like this would sound nice if
Yeah,
he
of
he
course.
sang this, so I give it to him, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was definitely one of the hustles I was good at. I was able to get out there and do that, but other than that, I think I should have paid more attention to the royalties. The royalties would have been hit, especially with tracks like MTL Anthem. You feel me? So that should have been the number right there.
But at the same time, I still want to just kind of pivot back, yo, because like you still need that. So like you're right in the sense that in the big picture shit. So me sitting here, I already my bills is paid, all that kind of shit is good. Now I can sit there and go, yeah, royalties. That makes sense. But that's always like the hindsight, right? At the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
day, I could probably make more money if I actually were to try to hustle my songwriting services in some way or another. Like, who the fuck knows? Maybe I could go ahead and
yeah,
sell some lyrics to the next man's for $50, $100 here and there. I could literally shit
yeah,
a fucking 16 out of my ass in an hour. So it's not like I care that much about selling some
yeah,
shit here
yeah,
and there. So even as you're talking to me, I'm going, yo, why am I not trying to even try to do that? And I'm not trying to like say I'm the best or whatever, but fuck it,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
there's a couple hundo
Of
here and there I could
course,
make.
of course. That's part of the market. That's part of the market, man. So that's one thing about Jamaica. Like that's what we're good at in Jamaica when it comes to the music. We do dubs. We do dub plates.
Yo, explain that shit. Just
All
assume
right.
when you talk about if you start the
Yeah,
sentence
yeah, for
with in
sure, for sure.
Jamaica, remember I'm white as fuck, and you got to break that down.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. No, so dub plates is basically like you see my verse that I'm singing. Okay, if it's a hit, everybody knows that verse. Now, you as a DJ, okay, you're a
Mm,
DJ.
Okay.
You're gonna ask me as the artist to use my big verse to cut you a track. And on that track, let's say if I'm on that track, let's break it down. Like, let's say I'm flaunting, or not just flaunting, but like, or I'm talking like, like it's like a, like a gun track, or I'm flaunting track. But now, because you're cutting the track, I'm gonna come in your studio. I'm gonna re-record the track, but make it about you as the DJ.
Wait, say that again.
So Wiz, right? DJ Wiz,
Right.
right? Let's say I would say like, um, no, I ain't budging without my safety. Well, instead of me saying no, I ain't budging, I'm gonna say DJ Wiz ain't budging without no safety. Three cousin, three gun. Cause so I'm making it up. I'm making that track about you. So the purpose of that now, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, I get it. So you would go to all the different places and then re-record it about this person.
Not not me, but
Okay, but
like
I'm
I'm
saying, let's
saying
say like
like,
people in general.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But these are artists. But the purpose of that now is to basically between DJs. So let's say, because I have a passion for that, you have a passion for that, but you got to bring out the best tracks, that's like banger, that's gonna make, like gonna be hit for hit. So let's say you would go get E40, and I would go get like, I don't know if I don't know. I shouldn't have used E40 because I don't know if he has track. He pretty much he was on a versus. What that versus track? Okay, like the versus track now. Like they do there with on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's the same concept, but now let's say it's the DJs them doing it towards each other.
So the
Same
DJs
concept.
are basically getting all of y'all or all of these guys in the studio, and they're all being
Straight.
like, "Yo, let's get it again," and they all kind of doing their own version of the track,
Yeah.
where they get him to take
And
his hot verse and make it their own. And so he gets a bunch of free promo from all these DJs who are now pushing their version of his shit. So he's like, fuck
exactly.
yeah. And all the
Exactly.
DJs is trying to make their dub, I guess, the best one possible. So,
Exactly. But watch this. This is where you win though. This is where you win. If you know that you like me, if I know that I'm battling you, if I can get, that artist to come and talk shit about you on that track, big track, of calling you out, now that just made it a little bit more interesting. You know what
okay.
I'm saying? If he can get Eminem to spit some shit talking, he's the baddest DJ and fuck da 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 and this and that on the same track that's banging right now, yeah, he wins right there on a level, so it becomes big. It's a really big competition, so it definitely opens up the market for artists, to kind of hustle, have that hustle, because a lot of the DJs have that compassion. It's really big. Sound clash is a very big thing, but I can't say for North America. I would say that.
Yo, but it's it's a really interesting thing, right? Because like I don't fully understand that culture. I know that there's a lot of reusing stuff, right? But like it's contextless to somebody like me. And I even have this conversation with some people. And like I know there's a degree of sharing stuff that happens, and like when we talk about it, we're like, yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense because um, even at like a cultural level, right? Like me and mines tend to use I a lot more. Even the sense of cultural identity can be kind of traced back into the idea of an I. And then I started talking to people from the islands and other places, and the idea of an I and identity is kind of tied into this notion of we and ours, right? So even at that point,
Mm-hmm,
right? So we think ownership
mm-hmm,
right away. We go right to that. You have to have exclusivity with your music, or it's not hot. And in a
mm-hmm,
sense,
mm-hmm.
your version of it is just a very more I don't know another way. Not It's not so tight. It's more like spread the love with it, and the hottest is gonna rise, and it doesn't matter. And it's almost
It's
like
true.
Yo, imagine if that was going on now. And because I have this feeling that beat makers and producers is about to take over heavy in the scene, right? So
Hmm,
imagine
hmm.
they all hear this and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Yo, let's do this," and they start fucking jumping on people's tracks
yeah,
like that. Already, the next
yeah,
man's
yeah,
was like, "Yo, let me remix one of your tracks." I'm like, "Yo, say word." I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Okay,
exactly. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I see this
Well,
now."
well, they sort of do. They have they have their own kind because they're not gonna do it like raw like that because But it's similar to like what David. I think David Guetta. David Guetta's pretty good at that. He's pretty good. He works with a lot of artists and he makes his own cuts. But that's on a beat on the instruments type of level. But so there's different ways to work with it. Again, it's so much ways to hustle when it comes to being an artist. It's just how you maneuver the thing. You know what I'm saying, and who you're working with. So it's a great it's definitely it's it's the passion, man. It's the passion to be in, man. You gotta love music. You gotta love music.
Yeah, but there's definitely a cultural side to that because you can love music in a very different way than that, but still love music.
Absolutely,
But I love the fact that
absolutely.
you're sharing this because at the end of the day, we're trying to bridge gaps, right? So you just helped me understand like a lot of things in a way that I never understood before. So that's fucking
Straight,
cool.
straight.
So it,
Respect, respect.
all right. So I don't remember why we started talking about dubs, but let's go
So
back to that.
so yeah. So basically, that was basically it. So that kind of like what I'm saying. When for me, I was more concentrated on just getting out there and just being vocalist. So that's what I did most of the time. But when I met with Merker,
Right. Right, Merker.
yeah, yeah, then that's when the things started rolling. Because definitely Merker's always been a mentor. He's actually a brother of mine. He's like blood, straight up blood, 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 blood. Like deep blood, like heavy. Can't go around it, no matter what. So it's definitely there. So he definitely a lot of the things he said definitely is 100% accurate. There's not a lie in that. I remember one time, man, we went to we cut up the Diamond one. I think that was the second album. The second
Mm,
album we cut. Lost it was Lost My Soul.
right.
That one. We went to Ottawa to go perform. And yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yo, the hustle was real. We love that. Like those type of moments, like yo, you cherish because we were like a team. Like we had the MVP. I think it was called the MVP van. I don't know if he remembers that van, but that van was crazy. That shit took us everywhere. I could swear a little bit, right?
You can
I'm
swear a
not gonna
lot.
cut off.
There's okay, so you can't use the R word. That one's a bad word. Anything that the LGBTQT plus community would get mad at you
Uh,
for, don't say those
yeah,
ones
yeah,
either.
yeah.
And
Common sense.
otherwise, all the fucks and shits and that kind
Yeah,
of stuff, we all
yeah, yeah.
fucking
Common
good.
sense. All right, cool, cool, cool. So yeah, so basically, yeah, that was the MVP. That took us around enough places, but we were building tracks. So I came in there, and that was with Getaway.
Right.
Came in there with Getaway, but yo, before that, we were focused on so much things. I think on my first time, really showed him that I was serious. I said, yo, man, we're getting out of the studio. We got to get out of the studio. I said, yo, I'm taking your CD. We're going to go play your CD in the club. I said, I'm going to make this guy play this shit in the club. Go
Mm.
in the club. We grab ourselves a VIP seat. You know, yeah, Cali was swaggerific like that. That's how we had it. VIP. Yeah, yeah. Fancy guy. No, but he was cool. He was cool. But I'm saying, yeah, he was big. So then, boom, now, we sat there and I'm like, yo, I see the DJ and I'm like, yo, wait a minute. That's yo, give me a CD. Here's a CD. Yo, play that track. And the first track I played for that, I said, yo, don't play nothing else. I just want you to play this track. And that's a track called, the one he did with Akon.
Mm.
I Won't.
Yeah, that's a big tune.
Big tune, big tune, big tune, big tune. When that went in the club, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now everybody want to buy a bottle now. Oh, okay, everybody knows how to buy a bottle now. Yeah, yeah. We opened up the club. It was beautiful. So from there, yeah, we started taking music more serious when it came to it, you know. So definitely it was a pleasure. Definitely learning from Cali. He taught me a lot when it comes to even like knowing how to put these things together because I wasn't learning that with action. I would just come, go in the booth, do my part, go, and that's it. Engineers, I'm out. But now I got more, personal with learning all these things, So uh, it definitely, was a game changer from there. But by then, my youths were born, my kids were born. So my firstborn when, yeah, he was born in '03.
Okay.
So by then I was like 19, 18, yeah, 19, yeah, 19. So yeah, so it kind of slowed me down a little bit, but we kept going, we kept going. We're pushing some music, doing everything good. We're still performing. We're doing. We had a homeboy, one of our homeboy, big up to Knox, Knox, one of the shatas, them Knox. Definitely, he had a thing going on where every weekend we used to go to this spot and little cafe, nice beautiful spot downtown. People would come in, and yeah, we used to do shows over there, and yeah, really truly, and we used to go out there and sell CDs for real, for real. CDs was a thing. I remember times, we used to drive all the way so far just to go get the CD, the cover for the CD. We had to go to like some factory way out, and it was not like now that you just print it out. No, 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 it was work. It was work. So definitely, yeah, man. It was fun to do these things, definitely. So that's where basically I got to learn a lot of like putting these things together when it comes to like recording myself, and actually seeing the difference between from a guy that just masters it, and I'm gonna send it to your email, and then okay, we're good to go. That's it.
Mm.
So definitely, definitely.
So for you, it's like really important then to learn all the steps in making a song.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once I got that opportunity, I definitely didn't take it for granted. Because again, remember it was like in the beginning, you have it like that, but that's not what you're looking at. You're just like, okay, let me just try to find myself. I'm just gonna try to put two and two together. Then now you go, you're in the studio, you learn about, you just pay your little $20 an hour. Yeah, there was $20 an hour. Go in the booth, come out, that's it. But now it was like a minute. So
Mm.
definitely, I definitely took every soaked in every day of it. So I remember times that I wouldn't even sleep. Yo, I wouldn't sleep. I was just like, rolling on. I wouldn't sleep just to find a chorus. I wouldn't sleep. Yeah,
Fair
yeah, I
enough.
wouldn't sleep, man. I got deep with it, deep with it. I wouldn't sleep. Like hearing if I didn't play a track over 100 times, 200 times, just before I get like the right 2 bars, 4 bars, forget it, forget it. People hate it. They hated me in the studio. We were like 4 or 5 of us in there.
No, that's cool, man. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it. Um,
man.
so I guess after that Merker phase, you guys are doing your thing. Are you guys also performing during that? I guess you are.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah, heavy, mad performance. We were killing performance, man. Like, but that was the thing. Like, once the CDs came out, I really had to draw them out. I was like, yo, we're going to perform. We're going to perform. And we just got better with it. Definitely with time, we got better with it. But like, yo, because I was so used to performing that when I went with them, we were finding ourselves, but like the music was out there, but we got to get out there and perform.
hmm.
And yeah, yeah, trust me, that was one of the best things we used to love doing is going out and performing. So yeah, 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 we definitely put in that work when it comes to like doing shows. And mind you, like we're not getting paid no buku bucks, and I not it was like yo, we were doing this like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? We weren't looking at it like oh. You know, we're gonna be major superstars doing this, but you know, we wanted to get our name out there,
If
make
it
people know
counts for
that yo,
anything, a lot of people have said many positive things about you to me in the last couple of weeks. So you effectively got your name out there and are well loved by
yeah.
people today. So it worked.
Respect, respect. And I got mad love for them too, because honestly, it's like, you know, like definitely, you know, you can go out there and just, you know, rebrand, you know, your ally, you know, because
Mm,
Kaybee Turkoleone, you know, that's he's good at what he does, but that's not him in this house. I tell you that. You know, I got a different name in this house. You know what I'm saying? So Kaybee Turkoleone, I tell you, he's a character out there. So he's got to have that energy straight up out there. So definitely, you know, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love it. And the people then like you gotta be able to express with your people them. So like that when you go out there, it's like you have your city on your back. The back your city's gonna hold you down. You when you go to America, you know, say yo, boom, who are you? You call Montreal. You say yo, you got the Montreal just like screaming on the phone. That's how you work. You know, that's how you work as a team. Like you gotta be like more connected here in Montreal. So for me, that was more important to make sure that I can work with, you know, the people then that actually do want to put out the work too. That's why I big up to minds like Frost. You know, Frost is definitely doing his things. I Blast, you know, Chemo, like there's so much, so much. So really, like, it'd be unfair for me to start naming because like too many reels to be left out.
right. But that's cool because that's basically like the golden era, is what I'm calling it for now. Not to say that there won't be like a new era, but that like 2008 to 2012, 13 era is possibly like the best era of success where there was a hot runner artist that did a lot of things. The shows were proper, everything was
Facts.
happening.
Facts, definitely, definitely. I look up to like minds like that dude, you know, like was out there, like big up to like Dirtwork and Magnum. I looked up to those guys. They're a little older than me, so like definitely when I looked at them, I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, maybe I do need to step up my game a little bit on some levels, you know. But I didn't look at it in no personal way because it's nothing like, you know, I mean, we are going through it together, but you know, I if I would have looked at it more on from the royalties and stuff like that, I could have used that to my advantage to go get what I actually was trying to accomplish, you know, from
Mm,
the beginning. So it was just, you know, it was in the end again, like with me in action, it was bad communication. If we actually had that kind of business aspect of putting them two together, we would have been definitely way out. I can actually show you a video where you Wu Tang, Wu Tang, Wu Tang live. It's still, if I'm pretty sure if it's still on YouTube, it's probably still on YouTube. Wu Tang telling Action he needs to get out of Montreal and come fuck with them. You
hold
hear
on.
me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Straight up, get out of Montreal and come roll with us. Come fuck with us. Yeah, dog. It was like, yeah, her name ring bells.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot
But
harder to find, but that's fair. I
I'm
believe
not.
you that it happened.
I promise. I promise. Definitely, definitely. I wouldn't even lie if my mother, if I, God,
Everyone
if I
believes you,
tell you.
man.
But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if you go on his page, you'll find it because he mentioned it a couple of times. Like, yo, it's
I'll
it's
check that
it's
real quick.
it's easy.
But yeah. Anyway, while I'm checking that,
Well, yeah, yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
uh, I don't see it. But yeah, fair enough. I believe you. It definitely happened. We'll just
Definitely, definitely, definitely. If I find it, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
cool. I definitely
Should I
appreciate that.
definitely send it to you? Definitely. But yeah, yeah, it's crazy that you know going through that with Cali, learning the basic of the music definitely opened up my eye, and even trying to figure out the whole branding thing and everything. So that's what kind of, you know, got me more involved with understanding, you know, the business side of everything. So now I started focusing more on the business side.
Right. So, I guess then, what happened? When do you stop working with Cali at a certain point? Do you start going your own way?
In a sense, yeah. Yeah, basically, after that, I figured out, you know, like, you know, I can, you know, give some more time because, you know, the studio, you know how it goes sometimes when you're too much in one house, you know, shit definitely comes. Well, that's just how the game goes.
Right.
But it was all love. It's nothing like, oh, no biasness. There was no bias.
Ah,
We still talk to each other. We still love each other. It's always like that. But it's just this part of the game. So, you know. Um, with that being said, yeah, definitely, he definitely taught me my thing. You know, I got, like I said, I had my firstborn. I moved out and went straight in the woods and stuff like that. So it was harder for me to get down to him and him get to me and stuff like that. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna figure out a way to kind of like, you know, make things work for both of us. So I started recording myself,
mm,
and then yeah, from there that was a wrap. But then when I started recording myself, made more sense out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna make more sense and not just try to just make music just to make music and then put them out. Which I did. I did a couple like those two tracks. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I did that myself. You know what I mean? I did that myself, learning the little stuff from Cali and put that out. But it's like shit, listening to it now, it may sound good, but I can see some tweakings there that I could have definitely fixed, you know. But
I mean, it was back
I
in the
could
day.
play, yeah, I could play you a Tupac track right now. You're like, God damn, if that's not like, and that's not like on a tape. I still have Snoop Dogg's first tape there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Dog Pound. If you hear that shit sound like yo.
No, I
Yeah, yeah, I
appreciate it, man.
trust.
Sound quality is a fascinating thing to go back to over time,
It's
especially
true.
because all of the stuff we know now, even like yo, it's pretty like crazy when you find those engineers that were able to make stuff sound good no matter what throughout the whole.
True.
Shout out to engineers. I just want to say it
It's
a
true.
lot. Like engineers really do like the work to make everything
Yeah,
sound pretty.
it's true. It's true. It's true. And that was the key, you know. So for me, that was basically the key. Like I'm not here to take away anything from any engineer, or I'm not trying to. For me, I didn't want to do both like that. So I just said, let me record and do the little bit I can do. But if you know, just to give them an idea, and then send that out to whoever can mix and master that properly. So
Mm.
that's basically my whole idea when it comes to recording. You know.
I'm totally with you. I have my guy, and I email him my files. But to be fair, we spent a lot of time working in the same room for years before we got to that, and then it just was like we got a little bit older, and it got a little bit easier to just email the man files.
Right. Exactly.
It's just kind of what it
Exactly.
is.
So that's basically what it is now. So
But like,
yeah.
yeah,
But
no,
now basically, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say, um, having your own gear is really important. I think it's something I did.
Yeah.
It's something you did, and I think it's like a huge money saver. No disrespect to
Yeah.
the studios. Look. If
Yeah.
I ever have like a major big tune, and I think there's really like something, and I put out something and it starts getting crazy buzz, I'll fucking go pay some money to re-record that shit. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. 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 That's basically the point because you don't want to go in the studio with a brand new instrumental, and then you're wasting bare hour. You know, you're wasting hours and for what? And then you could be doing this at home. You hear how you want to sound, how you want to kind of put it together because vocals now are different. It's not like you just go in there and it's just like I play with notes. I'm very good with notes when it comes to my voice.
Big
So
facts.
you know what I mean. So like I look into these things before I even try to go into the studio and take that kind of time, and it knocks. I mean, they may like it because they're gonna charge you anyways at 3 hours minimum. So might as well put in the right work for it. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a big deal too, and even if you want to get signed, right? So I was talking to this guy that worked with Mace. Uh,
See?
and they were back with the Puff Daddy era, and he was out there. He was one of the engineers at Daddy's house, and he was telling me how Mace would
See.
come on through, bang out 2 track an hour,
There you go.
and with that 2 track an hour, he saved Puff Daddy a lot of money,
For
and
sure.
Puff Daddy liked him a lot.
For sure. That's true. I believe that. I believe that. Oh yeah, because they're charging, and it's not their money's different. Remember, they're getting like $5,000 haircuts, so you can imagine how much studio time
Oh
is.
yeah. Um,
you know.
But basically, it's like the idea is that having the gear isn't even necessarily for the final product for those people that are really
Yeah.
concerned about the aesthetic. Like, look, I get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you're absolutely committed to going to Mans and paying Mans to record your shit with that quality, go for it. I'm not here to stop you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But having
Yeah.
the gear
Yeah.
at
Absolutely.
home where you can get a
Mhm.
close enough sound, and seriously, I'll sit there when I'm recording, and I'll do all sorts of shit. I'll try it like this. I'll try it like this.
Straight.
Try it
Straight.
like
Straight.
this. And then you gotta like
Straight.
figure it out. Yo, do I want to be
Facts.
angry? Am I sad?
Facts.
Am I happy?
Facts.
There's so many things to
Facts.
really think about when you really. Yo, the thing is when you're in the studio, and you got that 3 hour clock clicking, you start going,
Mhm.
yo, I
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
like walk out
Yeah.
with nothing. So you
It's
start
true.
going like,
It's true. It's
that one's
true.
good enough. Okay, it's good enough.
Yeah.
And then you put out some shit, and you know
Yeah.
it's not actually good enough.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. That used to kill me, man. It used to bother me so much, man. Like, trust me, that was like my worst pet. Yo, what? Oh, fuck. Yeah,
But now it's like, yo,
yeah,
sometimes it might take me a very long time to record a verse. For real, real. It really does.
yeah, yeah.
But I love the
Yeah.
fact that it doesn't cost me more money to record
Exactly.
a verse. And
That's what it basically is. You got to cut corners.
one time I actually recorded a song 3 times because I kept getting better. Finally, I settled. Secretly, I want to do it again. No, I'm not, but like secret. But
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah.
that actually
Yeah.
costs money over time, is all I'm saying. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's basically it. And like Cali, that's why I bless him 100%. He gave me the time to kind of like be able to do that. Like I was able to just learn these things and make mistakes. And man, when we talk about take cuts takes, he used to just take my notes and just be like, let's put this together, this. Some engineers, man, yo, I promise you, how much they're charging you to be cutting up shit and just trying to put them in one just to make one proper. No. Yeah. It was not the same. So definitely, man, we gotta put things together. And again, some like I definitely looked at it like, yo, as an artist, just stick to being an artist because that's what you got to focus on. Just
yo, I love
stay
it.
there and write songs. You know what I mean? Like don't cross your boundaries. So definitely, it's not here to cut no engineer at all. It's just definitely to make the job easier for them.
But it's like just more efficient because, I can tell you one thing. Engineers also like it when you show up and rap your verse ready to go. Yo, an engineer
Exactly.
appreciates it. I mean, every engineer I've talked to on the low has kind of made the comment like if they want to sit there and smoke a joint and talk to me for 45 minutes, they can.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like,
Yeah, yeah.
because even like when I was younger, I was stupid with it. I thought it was just like,
Yeah.
it's so cool to be in the studio. And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo, I'm in the studio now. Yo, can I smoke a joint in the
Yeah.
studio? Okay. But yo,
But-
smoking a
but-
joint takes 15 minutes, right? Like that's
Yeah,
15
Yeah,
minutes
exactly.
of my $30
Exactly.
or $40 an hour session that I
Yeah,
just spent
yeah.
to smoke. And maybe you got to be in the zone. Fine, whatever.
exactly,
you're like-
exactly.
I don't
But
know.
remember, that's what it is. Because remember, you're getting they some of them is like 2 hours minimum. Remember, there's a minimum. They're not gonna just So if it takes you an hour to cut, then you get an hour to smoke properly and listen to your shit, and then you have another hour to kind of like go back and forth on what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if it's professional. If you're already you did it at your cribs, you got an idea, you went in there, you banged it out properly the way you want. Now you get to actually kick back. You don't feel stressed out about putting your work. You can smoke 2-3 spliffs and listen to the shit. Maybe the engineer might dabble a little bit and start engineering himself, and give you a little too. and then oh, maybe let's go back and fix something, and then you got that little extra hour. So it definitely opens up for that 3 hour to give you the leverage of what you're looking for, just how you do it. You got to
Big
work
facts.
smarter.
But it all comes down to practice, because we were talking about one takes, that other guy, and it's like the idea of one taking is kind of like yeah. Are there moments where you open your mouth and a pure magic comes out and it's perfectly aligned? Yeah, of course
True,
there are. But
true.
most times you rap that shit 100 times and it sounds good. That's the kind of.
Facts, facts.
I mean, I wish
I agree.
like I when I was young, I was like, yo, one day I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be able to record everything. It's gonna be fucking. You know what happened? I developed more vocal techniques, and recording takes me 3 times as long now. And then
Yeah.
ad libs, you start thinking about that, and then the next thing, and then it's like, yo, it used to be
It's
like I
true.
recorded all 3 verses in 45 minutes.
It's
Now
true.
it's like a syllable. I don't think I
It's
like how
true.
that one syllable is. Fuck the verse.
It's true. It's funny because we can actually get into the next part of my
Love it.
my
Let's do
recording,
it.
because that's actually a good thing you said, because that's what ended up happening with me when I was actually, because now I started working with True Hunger. Big up to Jay Diligent, definitely another mentor in my life. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Jay, yo, he's definitely someone to go check him out. When it comes to his music, he's a genius, a wizard. He's definitely another one on the list. Just like Cali, they have their different style, but they definitely are too talented. When it comes to engineering behind these keyboards, hands down. So I started fucking with him and getting the real sound out of understanding my voice, because not only was doing chorus and these things with Cali and everything, but now I was learning from R&B singers, because that's what they do. They do R&B, and they're actually real R&B singers. So like I was like, oh, this is insane. Blew my mind right there. So imagine me now recording here and then have to go record at these guys' studio, and I'm doing my shit, and these guys are showing me some, oh, well, if you did that kind of harmony like this with what you just did, oh, that's crazy. And it blew my mind. So now, exactly what you're saying was end up happening more frequently and frequently, because every time I would do it here, it's like, yo, I go there. Oh my gosh, I look at him for 2 seconds and I feel like I could do it even better. So it was like, oh my gosh, we'd spend hours and hours and hours. It was another repetitive cycle. It was another cycle again. So definitely, I understand what you're saying. Salute to that. I
Yeah.
agree.
Do you ever have like a problem where like you just don't know where to end it? Like you're just in the middle of doing it, and every single fucking time you're trying to rhyme it, you're like, yo, I can do it better. I can do it better. And then you spend 3 4 hours, but then it starts getting worse, and then it starts getting worse, and then it
Yeah,
starts getting
yeah,
worse,
yeah,
and then you have no
yeah, yeah.
fucking idea. Then you wake up the next day and you're just like, fuck everything I did yesterday.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was the king of that. I
Mm,
was the king of that. I used to always be like, scratch it, I'm doing it over. And yeah, I was the king of that. I'm doing it over, I'm doing it over. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was definitely the king of that. I would tell them like, erase it. And they would be like, yeah, yeah, I'm erasing it. And they wouldn't erase nothing. They
never
kept
do.
everything.
Absolutely.
They think yes, just so if they're watching or if they ever watch, you guys, I know you kept the shit. I know you
Yeah.
kept it.
They keep every fucking thing, every
They
fuck,
keep everything.
every little thing like that too, right? My engineer would be
They
like,
keep.
"Yo, that fuck you did at the end. I'm gonna put that in the ad lib bank. It's gonna." And then for all I know, that showed up in a track 4 or 5 months later, right? Like that
There
could
you
even be a
go.
thing that happened. Anyway,
Definitely, I agree. Yeah, man. So yeah, definitely. Learning from these guys, moving more into like um, getting to know my sound was definitely a great impact. But by then, before into that, when I when I when I when I left when you know when we went our ways, with Cali, let's call it the Cali production because that's really what it was, Cali production, right? Um, the marketing of it was very unique, and I wanted to get into that myself. So that's when I came up with my own logo, the
Okay.
Royal Lace, the Royal Lace Enterprise, and took that more serious now.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I did turn, the Royal Lace Enterprise into a business and not just like musically, but entertainment.
Can you clarify the difference between those two things as far as how you see it?
Entertainment is everything that involves anything that can have loud music around it. Let's put it that way.
I like that definition a
Like,
lot.
yeah, because one thing I learned, like I started looking into, like, the things that I feel like that grab, especially here in Montreal, is that we have so much talent and in so much broad different things. So, I started looking into, like, people that are good at comedy, people that are good at art, like they know how to paint, they know how to do things. So we always brought music around it, but at the same time we were able to open up and let people, like, open up shows, for, let the youngins open up a show for comedy shows and stuff like that. But this was important. Like, you got to wear the brand. You know what I mean? So you wear the brand, go on stage, do your thing or do your painting and look nice. And these are things I wanted to develop. So that's what I took the Royal Lace Enterprise as, into entertainment.
I
Right?
like that. And I like that because I feel like I can relate to that myself. I mean, I started off rapping in 2012. So that's when I come into the game. And I spent about 4 years trying to be Mr. Rapper Man. And I'm the worst kind of guy, dude. I'm a save the city type fucker. So I did that for a couple years. That didn't do me
Yeah,
any good. Plus, I know
yeah,
fuck all about hip hop. Didn't do me any good. So I got my
yeah,
education on. But then I started creating this behind that suit thing. But that's kind of like the bigger thing now. It's not even an I, it's a we, right? Like there's three of us
exactly,
right now that are fucking running this
exactly,
shit. So like it's a
exactly,
bigger thing, and it made me have like
exactly.
more perspective with shit, right? And it's not just music. It's everything. It's whatever.
Yeah,
Like yo, we're gonna start a cipher. We're gonna
yeah,
start a this. We're gonna start a that.
yeah.
Um, and it's like I love what you're saying. I like the internet version because I understand that better. But I feel like what you're doing at this time is like the equivalent of what I'm trying to do here on Twitch. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
fuck with what you're saying is super heavy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, like I said, like, yeah, you may, as a host. No, who's the host? I'm the host.
No, I
You're
think
the guy.
I'm the host and
You're,
you're the
you're the host.
interviewee or whatever.
Interviewer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you
Whatever.
go. So, um, you're now just doing more history on the artists at the moment, but maybe later in the future, you might want to bring on somebody here in Montreal that made an impact in Montreal that's concerning, maybe into the art of, maybe something else or entertaining.
Yo, even to that end, as much as I focused a lot on music, we had you know how Merkur Miyagi is gonna be in that movie, right?
yeah, 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 absolutely,
So I brought on the
absolutely.
guy who's making the movie,
Yeah,
and we
there you
talked
go. You
about
see what I
that.
mean?
And he's
Yeah,
really not in
exactly.
hip hop. Like he's straight
There you
up
go.
a movie making. Like he has a whole company that deals with corporate America. Plus, yo, we booked
That's
Don
what's up.
Smooth. So we got Don
That's
Smooth
what's
that's gonna
up.
come through on
Exactly.
February 1st. So it's
He's
really like
legend.
we got this guy that came through earlier that was in the chats, and he's this DJ down in Alabama. And so like to me, like the dream is to get especially the producers and the videographers, the sound engineers. Yo, we had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these are the people that I think are almost more relevant to talk to in the big picture
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you. I know a lot of the rapper stuff already.
yeah,
You
exactly,
guys are,
exactly.
not to say that you guys aren't wonderful. I love this shit. Okay, I could have this
Yeah, yeah,
conversation
yeah.
a million times and I'm never gonna get bored
I
of it.
feel you.
But
I
when I
feel you.
talk to like a producer for like, it's like, yo, I'm taking like fucking notes the whole way through.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, 100 exactly. Because that's the behind the scene, right? That's behind the scenes. So there's a lot more to talk about behind the scenes and a lot more movements. When you're in front of the camera and you're on stage, that's it. That's just one thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in the entertainment, you're definitely more opened up. So, it's definitely a great, great way to experience, another side of the music itself, the business. You would call it, huh? That's what they call it now, the business. I say,
But I mean, it's
you're in the
because,
business.
but it is a business. At least, I mean, it always was, but I mean, more so now than ever. Like, look, you can have a label or not, but
Hmm.
even to catch the eye of a label, you're gonna have to have your business in order to catch the eye of a label. Like, nobody's gonna fuck with you if they don't think you're gonna be
Exactly.
able to generate revenue already. To do that means you need the
Exactly.
business. Now you got to be talking about your
Yeah.
brand. You got to be talking about how your social media game being played. You got to be talking
Exactly.
about all
Exactly.
the different pieces that come through that kind of create the ensemble
Exactly.
of what you are. So whether or not
Exactly.
you want to do the business is kind of just there now. So it's actually really
Yeah, it's just
useful that
there.
you're describing all of this because I think it's so fucking relevant to today.
It is. It is absolutely, and I caught on to that by learning from Cali because we were, we had the sweaters. Like right now, I'm actually wearing Montreal. This is Montreal on my back. This is Jungle, another great artist. I'm telling you, Bonka. This is his. So I support our own. But back then, we were making this and giving these away. Just here, hold this, hold this, hold this, hold this. We just wanted the name, the logo to be out there. But now it's like, it's okay. You got followers. You got just put a logo, put a little thing at the bottom. You can sell your merch right there. Your merch right there. Merch, whatever you call it, right there underneath your little Facebook, and you're good to go. But it's not the same. Back then, we actually wanted to make a name out of that logo that you actually created. So definitely, like this has been here for a
Nah, but
long
like
time. This is
even that,
my
like I
this is
feel
my logo.
I don't think it's any different. And maybe it's just cause like I'm fucking like into marketing and shit. But yo, look, my BTS logo, whatever, that's one thing. That's old. I'm kinda it's what it is. People recognize it. But that Bridge the Gap logo, I actually went and made sure I paid the right guy to make sure I paid something that I could build that around. It's an idea. And I love it. I was like, I need a bridge on that shit. It's gotta have a name.
Mm.
It's gotta look hip hop, and that's why there's like a little mic on it and shit. Like, and so it speaks to the fucking
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
can
yeah,
build an entire every.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't do shit with the other logo. It's kind of no offense to the guy that made it, but in hindsight, it doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of what was there.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
logo,
yeah,
like, it's just fucking hits. And I'm like, so when I hear what you're saying, I'm like, yo, that's why I'm able to push this idea and then make it a hashtag and then do the this and that because it's actually like a
exactly.
powerful thing. So in a sense, I
Yeah, you
fucked
need it.
up by not playing it like how you played it in the beginning. So it's good that you're sharing this shit.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, that's what you need. That like you kind of need that. Well, it's the same thing like Jay Z. He's got that little thing that he does there. So, but that's the marketing. That's the marketing of the business. You need that attached with who you are, with how you're projecting yourself. So definitely, it became important to me too. So I started dabbling with that, but also the business around it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
definitely had to play a part. Like I said, like allowing other artists, even like in different fields to perform and do their thing, and they're wearing your clothes on stage is magnificent. That's what you
dog,
want. So that
dog,
was the key. You know what I'm saying?
bro, that's a knowledge nugget. You just gave me an
Straight.
idea that I can afford to pull off.
You know what I mean? That's the key right there. That's the key. You got to get your things out there. You got to let the right people then wear it,
No, but
especially if you're trying to give them an opportunity out here.
even like take this shit, right? I mean,
I love that. I love that. By the way,
that's
crazy,
not even my
crazy.
shit. That's not even mine.
Yeah,
That's the next girl's thing. Yo, if you want one of
That's
these, you
crazy.
gotta hit up the lady at Montreal's Finest, and it's
Yeah,
at
like
Montreal's Finest 1985 on Instagram. But that's the thing, man.
crazy,
She gave okay, so her
crazy.
story is so crazy, right? Because it fits in with what you're saying. So what happened was that she drew this shit, and people said it was dope. So she made a bunch of stickers, and she started sticking it on people's like backpacks and shit. But people thought it was fire. So
Mhm.
then she started making shirts and shit, and then people started paying her for it, and then she kind of flipped it into a whole
Crazy,
thing. And I honestly,
crazy. I
you know,
definitely want to buy one.
I copped it and I was like, this is some fire. And then I started wearing it and people love it. And you know why it's dope? Because as much as people don't want to admit it, who do like people in Montreal love cats. Okay?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm more of a tiger guy, but I love cats too. I love cats too, definitely. So
Yo,
definitely I'm wearing that all
tigers
day.
are the shit, dude. I learned a lot about tigers this
Trust.
last year. And I get you, man.
Yeah,
Tigers are fucking awesome and phenomenal.
straight, absolutely, best, the best. If I can own one, I'm buying one tomorrow.
Yo, my girlfriend is really into tigers. Like, absolutely got me to learn
Yeah,
everything there
yeah,
ever was to learn about a tiger.
you
They're
love
fucking
them,
cool.
love them, absolutely. Trust me.
All right, so if we go back, you're in the early 2010s. You're in your little the post Merker era. You're taking your brand more seriously. So then, what's going on in your life
Yeah.
at this point?
So yeah, basically, my kids definitely played an impact. I had to focus more on, being a family man, because another side of me too is that I'm very family oriented, very family oriented. If anybody knows me,
Mm,
when it comes to family, I keep my circle mostly family, like real bloods. It's not a thing. Like I got definitely. I know a lot of people that got some friends, got some close ones I can definitely rely on, but family is definitely my thing. So I definitely wanted to make sure that that was more tightened up, not just in my own house, but my whole surrounding. Because my family is huge, especially here in Montreal. I tell you that,
mm,
huge. I got a bunch of cousins out here. Just me alone, I got five brothers. So definitely we're huge out here. So when it comes to like family, it definitely had to be that. So I started focusing more on that. But that's what I said. I met um, True Hunger Productions, which again gave me all the knowledge to actually refine myself when it comes to actually just putting out good music, not just coming up with a good chorus, have, two good guys jump on, or, I jump on, another guy jump on. And now it's just mostly me now. So I'm focusing more on me, and I'm actually dealing with the right people that can give me the sound that I'm looking for. Because again, I was finding my voice dealing with this R&B, but this was like trying to give this R&B flavor to what my reggae gives you,
right.
because that's what I do. Like I do reggae, but it's kind of like a R&B flavor to it, with a little bit of English to it. So you kind of, it's not like a full reggae, So I'm giving you that kind of mix. So dealing with these guys, they definitely, gave me the opportunity to have that, knowledge. So started working more on that. So that's when the I put out the Mix and Masters mixtape, which thank you for playing that. You definitely killed it. I love the fact that you said that right here, round here is your number one track. You felt a little crazy with that track, and that's a track that definitely everybody right now, when they play that mixtape, that's the first track they play, and they be like, yo, they go bonkers when they hear that. So definitely, it's one of my favorite tracks too. So salute to you for liking that track.
I mean, I like the whole feel, man. The whole thing, it just sounds good. It's versatile.
Yeah,
It's all over.
yeah,
The features are good. The
yeah.
energy's fucking proper. Um, but it's like the beat on that is nuts. Plus, it's bilingual, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the one there that I had the French guy on. He's the
Yeah.
only French guy I have on the track. Yeah, he's crazy. He's another. Yeah, him. Big up to that's Jungle.
Okay.
But yo, correct, crazy, crazy, crazy. He's a another beast when it comes to the music out here. So definitely, it was a pleasure working with him. So he came on the track, and it was unexpected. I was going there to record my own thing, and he just said, "Yo, I want to jump on it." And he's actually the engineer.
Right. Right.
He's actually
Okay.
the,
Okay.
yeah, he's actually the engineer. He just heard the track. He's like, yo, I gotta jump on this. Forget it, forget it. So that was it. That was definitely a lit moment for us. That's when we actually said, yo, let's put this together. So yeah, we definitely,
Yeah, that's
put
really
that
cool
together
though.
100. Yeah, man.
So how did you go about creating a mixtape? How did you get the beats? How did you go through it this whole process? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, like because it was a mixtape and I was giving so much, I didn't focus on and on top of it, this is just something like this is just me now. This is me giving you who I am and how well not who I but I mean like who KB Turkoleone is. I'll tell you that. Turkoleone, Mr. Turkoleone, that's his character. So um putting that together, I wanted to kind of just give a flavor of who he is and how he kind of, looks at life. So I didn't want to focus on just like getting or paying for beats. So I made more. If you notice, most of those beats, they're like um, they're like already taken beats. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even notice one time, but YouTube is totally gonna tell me after.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's probably like maybe like out of the whole thing, there's maybe like three beats in there that I paid for, but the
Fair
rest is
enough.
all yeah. Because at the time it was like mixtape was like mixtape. You could just run that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of it, yo, it's crazy because even one of the tracks that I got, one of the tracks that I recorded was actually Vado's beat. Vado's another crazy artist from America.
Right.
He crazy Vado. If you go look him up, he's another crazy one. But he's from Harlem actually, and I took his beat and ran with it and send it back to him. And yo, it was a good response. So like I knew like, yo, I could just do this and it's not as long as I'm not selling anything like that, I could just run it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So that was my whole focus, just to get to let people know who I am. So that's why I put out the Mix and Masters mixtape.
No,
You know what I'm
fair enough.
saying?
That's cool.
Straight.
So why is it called Mix and Masters?
The Mix and Masters. The reason why I call it the Mix and Masters is because the versatile that I have on it. It's a mix. It's a mix of everything, and it's a bunch of masters. We like Shaolin masters in us on this shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
We real, like a kung fu fighters out here. You know what I'm saying? We don't run for when you get that punch, you feel that punch. You know that punch comes in. You think
No, it's
so?
a good
Definitely
feeling.
had to be called the Mixing Masters. Yeah,
But I like the fact
and I got some masters.
that the name has that kind of depth to it, and that you kind of
Yeah,
have that like Wu Tang feel in that. Yo, shout out Agua Cerise. It does have that Wu Tang kind of flavor to the title. That's fucking cool, man. All right, so
respect,
when does
respect.
this project comes out? 2016, if the internet told me correctly.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so I started, yeah, definitely, yeah, 2016, exactly.
So what happens with that? How do you go about
Absolutely.
promoting it? What are you doing at this time?
Well, that's the thing. That's when, like the internet started evolving more. Like it started really, I'm not sure who I used at that point because we didn't have, it wasn't City Baby or Disco. I'm using DistroKid right now, but there was no Spotify.
Right.
No, it was no Spotify or anything at the time. It was just, I was actually just using, what I was actually using was actually, I would let like YouTubers that have, good followers, but more because it had more of a reggae flavor to it, like a dance, like on the Caribbean side. I was using more of the the like the vloggers, them that you call them, I guess, that are DJs on YouTube,
Okay.
right? So they they do the little DJ stuff on YouTube and whatnot and got files. So I would just send them my mixtape. Yo,
Yo,
I'm
hold
gonna
up.
send you my mixtape and play
This
that.
is big actually. And why I say this is big is because right now them DJs is on Twitch. After this is
Yeah,
done, we raiding.
yeah,
So what a raid is my channel invades another channel. May have seen it in the past, right? And we've
yeah.
been
I
hitting up
did see that.
DJs after. So we're gonna hit
Yeah,
up somebody, maybe Willie Scandals as he's doing his thing, and show some love like that. So in a sense, what I'm hearing you say is we can replicate what you did back then in the current era by popping onto these Twitch. Yo, trust man, you throw some bits, they're gonna shout you out and remember your name. I promise you that much.
that's
Most,
what's up. That's what's up for
and
sure, for sure. It's hey, got to support, got to support. Now they make it easier for you to be able to show that kind of support. Where we're both feeding off of each other a lot more easier than back then. Back then you couldn't do that. You had to go through somebody, and then it was like a whole process and everything. Now it's just a personal thing. You can just definitely get that popping. So definitely it opened up the market a lot more easier. But I'm old school, man. I'm still old school. Like I'm old fashioned. Like I like paperworks. I like to get my receipts going and okay, I did that with you. Well, yeah, I'm gonna send you a receipt in a minute, and we're gonna call that off. Put that in the books.
yo, but even
Call
what
me a
you just
night.
said, yo, listen, what you just said, whether it's literally paper or not, is fucking big, huge. Yo, I do freelancing, right?
Bad.
So
My bad. My
freelancing,
bad.
nah, no worries, you good, you good. Everybody gets it, man. You're passionate guy. You kaboom boomed the fucking camera.
Kaboom.
I like it, man. I like that a lot, dude. I feel that. It's kind of like the Merker Miyagi. Eh? You have that same shit going on. It makes me go,
That's what made us. That's what actually made the team a team, is because we all had different styles and brought it together, and it was you can feel the love when we were on stage, which
hey.
definitely brought the crowd
So it's
100%.
so your lady friend Bonnie, she does these album reviews with me, and we go through
Mm.
the classics, right? We talking all the classics, and one of the first things she looks for is do these are they buddies? She saw it with NWA. She's like, these sound like a bunch of buddies working together, and it's like, yo, shut up, Merker, for the bits. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. They really do sound like a bunch of buddies and shit, right? That is kind of what they sound like. And I mean,
Absolutely.
yes, their content is what it is, but they sound like a bunch of buddies doing it. And yo, I swear,
Yeah.
if you were to go through it all, you could probably get 50 clips of her saying that shit. So the thing is when I do hear your music, I do feel the essence of what you're describing, and I like that. I like that. It's a good thing.
Respect, absolutely. It definitely was there. There was no fakeness to that. That's 100%. Definitely. So tell Bonnie she's absolutely right. 100% right. Bonnie, if you're listening, you're
Yeah,
right.
she hears you.
100%. We
She
brothers,
says,
brothers, I tell you.
I like it when you can feel the love.
100, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? There's no other route besides that. If you don't feel it, get out of it right away. You know what I mean?
Yo, big
Don't
facts.
fool yourself.
Look, it's complicated, right? Sometimes you want to feel the love, and sometimes the love is a complicated thing. But at the end of the day, everybody's got
True.
energies and shit, and sometimes you gotta splice it up
Exactly.
and have it whatever. But energies matter a lot, and how people treat each other, and how people respect each other is fucking like
Straight.
it's a big thing. Um,
Straight. I
But yo, as
agree.
Merker's saying, your music has to be experienced in a live show. And there is something I want to ask before I forget, just in case, whatever. I just
Mm.
want to make sure I remember
Mm.
it. So one of the things
Gem, gem.
that we're thinking about doing on our end, I don't know when yet, details to come, is a virtual cipher. So
Mm.
basically, like, get a DJ. And what I want to also do is grab Montreal producers and have them supply me beats for this shit. Like, yo, bro, give me a bunch of your fucking beats you're not doing shit with. Have it be like each time different beat makers. Then you come on
Mm.
through, you jump on the Zoom. Because listen, if we try to do tracks right now, dog, it's going to sound like shit. There's no way around it. I
Yeah,
can't fix that yet. But
for sure, for
if we
sure.
just do freestyles, whether it's writtens or off the domes, over these
Yeah, yeah,
beats,
yeah,
it's going to
yeah,
sound
yeah,
weird to you later, but everyone else is going to sound real good. And so
Yeah, for sure.
Would you be interested in this type of virtual environment in terms of spitting over the internet? Are you down for the era of live
Hey
rap
man,
concerts on the Zoom calls, like spitting the bars like this and shit?
hey man, listen man, I'm already, you know, thankful enough to be able to experience up.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Big up to Baker.
So that's cool. So you put out your mixtape, and then what happens after the mixtape?
So yeah, so I put out the mixtape, and then after that, no, just to get people feeling what's up. Um, that's when I started getting more serious and working with True Hunger. So we put out that one. We put out the one video, which I showed you that it looked like we were like with the planes and everything. That
Mm,
was basically that's the can't remember the name right now, but definitely a introduction of who I was working with and how we were gonna definitely give you a new flavor and a new sound.
right.
And True Hunger definitely, when it came to giving you that sound, put everything together when it comes to like a R&B style, but more of like, you know, that dancing, get that moving. So that's why you were able to like, you know, dance with your girl like that when you were hearing
Right,
that
right,
track
right,
there,
right, 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 right,
right?
right.
It just had you on that flow with your girl. Your girl had you wondering, what is this? What is this going on over here?
Yeah, that's what she's that's definitely her. No, she might get mad at me after for it, but that's the facts of it. See, what happened is we moved in together. And now it's been like 4 to 5 years, and she's like mad
Blessings,
wifey. Like when I mean
blessings,
wifey, I mean
blessings,
she went from girlfriend to wife, and that's a
blessings.
transition. And yo,
Yeah,
listen, it is the best thing in the world. She holds it down
absolutely,
proper. It
absolutely.
is a lot more strings attached than the other version back when we started dating.
That's I love that, love that. Heavy, heavy. You need that, you need that, you need that. That's what keeps a happy home. I tell you. You
Yo,
know
it
what I
is though.
mean?
It's important. No, for real.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I should do dishes. That'll and I try to figure out like ways to like, okay, if I do enough shit, she'll wanna do things with me.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got
And
to learn.
that's
It's a partner thing. It's a partner thing, man. You got to your best partner is always gonna be the one you sleep beside. I tell you that.
mm-hmm. And she's
Straight.
wonderful. Yeah, she really is. She is.
Good,
Even
good,
if
good, good.
basically I plan on making fun of her on camera for the rest of my life. So I'm going to have to make sure she's very happy off camera for the rest of my life.
There you go. There you go. You're winning. You're winning already. You're winning already. Awesome. Yeah, man.
All right. So what happens after that? So with the true flow guys,
Yeah. So yes. So yeah. So basically, we
true
started
hunger.
doing
Sorry.
that. Yeah, True Hunger. So basically, we got more involved with that now and started looking into like billing that. So we just started just going through it. You know, just learning a new style, a new flavor because um definitely when I came in there, it was like, yo, the style was there, but the sound and everything that I felt like it needed to just have a jump to, yo, that energy, yo, I was definitely coming at the right time. So we all definitely played a part
Right.
and learned off each other, you know. So doing that, big up to Fresh, Deja Fresh, definitely started off like he was like co rapping, like I'm talking like co-rapping, but like spending the time there and everything, his whole style changed and it just became more of a flavor where that R&B thing just
Right.
started kicking in. So it definitely it's not like a full R&B like no, but now like like you see the style like definitely Drake opened up the door when it comes to that
No,
kind of
but I
style,
think
right?
like okay. So here's what happened with that. Right. People like
Yeah.
miss the whole detail. The 20 year
Mm.
olds all grew up with YouTube. So they were just
Yeah,
listening to everything the whole time. So while we
yeah,
grew
yeah,
up in our lanes where we bought our albums and we stuck to our own shit, that's not what the kids are going through. So like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they just don't have the same preferences. To them, it's just okay to like Drake and Freddie Gibbs at the same time. Like that's just
Yeah,
fine
it's
to
true.
them. So it's
It's
like
true. It's true.
us that have to learn to adapt to that in a way. So yo, what I think is
It's
gonna
true.
happen is a lot of people are gonna start singing. A
Yeah, that's
lot of
basically
people
what
are
it is.
gonna start
Yeah,
singing.
or getting more comfortable with finding their voice because it's all about the voice. It's not, a lot of people are doing. They're still doing the little jibber 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 jibber, but they're adding that little like, so that voice right
Yeah.
there
Or
is that voice, but you're not really singing like no R&B. Like you're not no
nah. But
Jacques now.
here's the like I think that even like not even if it's like by accident, if you're really serious about your rapping, even if it's in the one key you can do, you're gonna find the
Yeah, yeah,
natural melody that you need to be
yeah.
in to ride that beat. That's
Exactly,
part of the flow,
exactly,
right?
exactly,
So
exactly.
but also if you're really working your voice and you're really rapping, you should maybe like, and this is not like a mandatory, but wouldn't you want to like try to expand your vocal
There
range
you
and
go.
like, or
There you
like
go.
I'm super into the theatrical elements. Like I like voices. I'm not good at voices. I'm actually really bad. I only have like three. But like to try to have
Mm.
voices or like falsetto. Like I don't care what
Yeah,
anyone says. I want to drop
yeah,
a
yeah,
falsetto. Like when I hear the song
yeah,
"Creep" by Radiohead and he does that really high pitched part at the end,
yeah, yeah.
like I want to
And
be
then,
able to
nah,
nail
nah,
that
nah.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. Facts, 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 facts.
And then I could rap like that because I know how to rap. So it would be
Yeah.
like rapping in false. Like I don't really think that rapping in falsetto is maybe the smartest choice. It's just like, but I want the option. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It may not be. I mean, 'cause remember, you still gotta be on video, right? You're still gonna have to, create a music video. So with that
Yeah.
high pitch, it may not.
Nah. No, no, no. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it depends the sound. I just want
Yeah,
the
it's true. It's
toolkit.
true.
To me, it's a toolkit thing. Cause like it's
Exactly.
about like yo Chuck D,
Exactly.
man. When Chuck D uses his voice on a record, right?
Yes.
It just
Yes. Yes.
like it has this radio sound
Mm-hmm.
in the way he resonates. That's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's like an instrument more so to, or like Rakim, the way he's so silky smooth with that shit. And I
Yeah.
can't really do a good
Exactly.
one, but like
No, I feel you though. I feel you.
or even the
I
nasal
basically.
shit that Eminem brought. Something people don't realize. A lot of people don't like Eminem after he stopped being nasal.
Mm,
Nobody really
yeah.
catches that, but he used to be really like, nah, my name is really nasally,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
stopped
That's
doing
true.
that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
learned
It's
how to
true. It's
sing a
true.
little bit, and people
Yeah. It's
stopped
true.
fucking with him the same way, but a whole bunch of new people started fucking with him.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's what it is. It's part of the wave. You got to go part of the wave, right? You're surfing this, right? So, the deeper you go into this wave, I mean, you got to know how to surf this wave properly. So, you got to be able to
Yo,
come back to the wave when you're able to, you know, calm yourself down. So it's all on how you deal with the wave, but definitely it's gonna come at you. So you got to be prepared and know how to dive that. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. I
Dive
mean,
into that.
you definitely have a huge vocal range, so I think you're gonna be able to fucking deal with a lot of the upcoming landscape. So when it comes
Yeah,
down to album releases and all of that kind of stuff, what do you see in your future? Are you working on an album now? Are you working on
yeah,
things? What's going on for
yeah.
you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I'm glad you came to that. So that's basically where we at right now in the final position of my whole music introductory, I would call it. Uh, Definitely, I got. I'm not gonna do the album thing, but I definitely have some new singles coming out, which I'm gonna release. I want to do that. I want to do that little 1 week challenge and
Okay.
give a little bit. Maybe like in a month, I give a little challenge. Once, just I do have. Honestly, I think personally, like this is gonna be the best work I've put into like really giving you this sound that I've been searching for such a long time and actually getting for everybody to know who I am and how I can express myself in different ways and not just give you one versatile of that Jamaican guy, you know. So I'm
Mm.
giving you something more different now, but definitely in the range where you won't forget who I am, you know what I'm saying? So, or who KB is, you know. So, um,
But yo,
definitely
even
I'm
so,
working.
here's the thing though. Even when you're saying that, to me, I'm like already going, yo, but KB, I just sat there and listened to a collection of your work over the last 15 years or so, and you're pretty versatile already, and you show all sorts of sides. Now, and you may like have a character that you're playing, but even just talking to you, a lot of the principles and the things that you put into that like music that you've already put out are really reflected in the man that you are today. Okay, like certainly maybe
Absolutely.
the KB character has a few more guns popping out and a few more murders going down. Okay. But like if
Back then, we would
I'm saying
say.
the musical character that I heard,
Yeah,
but like
yeah, back
cut
then,
past
yeah,
that part and everything else
yeah,
that he was also saying was
yeah.
fucking really wise, right? Like there was a lot of wisdom in your music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
exactly,
listen,
exactly.
I thought it was interesting, even on the subject of the character that you created, right? Just on that subject. Because I think a lot of people like me back in the day judge the idea of these characters because we don't really understand hip hop as a culture. But the more I've learned
Mhm.
about hip hop culture, the more I can actually create these comparisons between things like the WWE and wrestling and all these
Mhm.
characters that people
Mhm.
become, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know that
Yeah,
Shawn
yeah,
Michaels is not necessarily
yeah,
actually this motherfucker, right?
yeah, yeah, for
Or
sure.
even the world of comic
Yeah,
books and all of
for
that
sure,
shit with superheroes and villains. It's like people create
for
these
sure.
personas. Like in my case, sure, my government name is my persona, but like for me, it's like when I wear a suit, it's rapper me.
Yeah,
And when I'm not
yeah,
wearing a
yeah,
suit, it's a whole different guy. And like the personalities, and
absolutely.
you think about the branding and shit. So like sure, maybe as we get older, we go, okay, maybe less boom boom. I don't know. I don't know where you're going with your brand. You're gonna go where you go with your brand. But
Yeah,
like at the
yeah.
end of the day, I just have to give you all the fucking credit for still having, like, as I was listening to it, it's like, get that money, stay focused on what's proper, be honorable, be real with it. Like, all of these principles are fucking all throughout your catalog consistently without changing.
Respect, respect, and that's definitely what how I definitely wanted to keep it that way, without changing, you know, who I am, but at the same time, now what I'm giving you is more of, you know, just more of the love, because again, like I didn't, you know, I didn't really talk to the ladies them. I didn't give, which a lot of the ladies them were actually telling me the most, more than the guys, that yo, you have a voice, your voice is real. So it only makes sense if I would speak for the ladies, you know. So
Mm.
I wanted to more focus on tracks where I can actually, you know, get both interests, with the ladies, but also, you know, the tugs them. I call them the tugs them, you know. So definitely, now the flavor that I'm giving you is like I'm really going out there when it comes to like dealing with, you know, my soft side. I would say, you know, my soft side,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah,
that's the smartest shit
nothing,
ever.
nothing, but nothing too like dull or make you drop asleep. Like, you know, Drake's album, he did that. Like, he gave you some, you know, he went R&B, and you know, that's not what I'm all the way trying to do. But definitely, you'll get that kind of more uplifting. I got energy, so definitely, you know, you get that more of a
But like,
push to
even
it.
if you
You
want to
know.
like go a little more meta with the conversation, right? So something that's really fascinating that changed in the world is 2008. 2008 is a huge fucking year. And look, Drake appears after 2008. He doesn't really count
Yeah,
before 2008. So the
yeah,
reason
it's
that
true.
matters is when like all the really hard shit is taking over, America's kind of
Mhm.
rich, right? Prior to
Yeah,
2000, there's a lot of money circuit. People are actually making money. So everybody's
yeah, yeah,
hard and the music's kind of negative and shit.
yeah, yeah,
2008 hits, and since then, a lot of money's been stripped away from the economy. A lot of people are
yeah.
broker. A lot of people are miserabler. And you'll notice
Mhm.
that this escapist, happy, positive. Like, how do you think Kanye's album really resonated? The Jesus one there?
Mhm.
Yo, I'm listening to it,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah, yeah,
like,
for sure.
hallelujah, hallelujah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
hallelujah.
for sure,
Because, yo, you just
for
can't, your
sure.
soul needs some shit like that
Yeah,
right now.
exactly, 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 exactly.
And
That's
so
basically it.
the
That's
melodies and
basically
shit.
it.
It's like if you look at the times, people don't want to hear the hard stuff quite as much, which is why I
Yeah,
look at some of
exactly.
these cats when they're like, yo, I'm gonna spit all these hard bars and show the world I'm the best. I'm like, yo, man,
Mm-hmm.
the world wants you to like talk about being a human being right now and sharing
Yeah,
your
yeah, exactly.
insecurities. Yo, we're all fucked up and we're all trying to get
It's
a little
true.
better and stuff, you
It's
know?
true. It's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. And right now is definitely not the time to spread that kind of energy, especially, So if I have the opportunity to, be able to share something more positive and more loving, then definitely. But, I'm not gonna have none of my old fans them slipping neither, where they get caught slipping. One of them girls that want to rob you at night.
No, I appreciate that, man. Yo, man, I think your shit is fire. Um, I think in general you have a great energy and a great outlook on life, and more people should know about you, and more people should hear about your stuff.
Yo,
Um,
respect, respect.
I want to thank you for coming on through. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it's a good place to wrap up. I think
Absolutely.
I would love to have you
Definitely
come back
the
in the
stories.
future. I want to find out how I'm gonna do my part 2 episodes. It's gonna have to be a little more, shoot the shit. But there you go. Picture it like a DJ Vlad without the crime. So we just come back and shoot the shit about things in the future or whatever. So
Well,
I think you'd be a
well, well,
wonderful guy.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Like I told you, like what I'm gonna be putting out is definitely gonna shake. So we'll definitely have a lot to talk about. I
Yeah, I
promise you.
love it, man. And that's
I
what I want to
promise
do. Because, yo, there's a whole bunch of topics, man. Yo, don't even, there's
you. Yeah,
not a thing we can't talk about, any kind of
that's
real
true.
issue.
That's true.
But in this
That's
kind of
true.
sense, it's hard to Google people, right? So for me, this
Yeah,
first
yeah.
episode is a sense to get to hear your story and learn the kind of shit that, like, let's say, other places may have better documentation for. So in
True,
the
true.
meantime, I'm trying to get that. From now we talk, the next time down the line you come back, you got a few more things going on. We talk about the world a little more. This, that, the next thing. We discover
Yeah,
secrets
yeah.
along the way.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely. And look, listen, we still we're gonna have a lot to talk about because, like I said, like not even with that being a wrap up, but I got a 17-year-old that's even more bonkers than me. That's like
No.
ringing noise right now, right
Yeah, that's
now. So
incredible. Yo, definitely gonna have
definitely,
to peep
we
that in the
got,
future.
yeah, go check him out, Jay Vassetti, Jay Setti, right away. So he's definitely right now on YouTube blowing up. So it's like it's all everything is just put into position already. It's just for us to
Yo,
just
so
definitely talk about it.
basically, you're providing for your son the same opportunity that was provided for you to be able to link him up with.
100,
That's amazing, dude.
100, 100, 100. This is all his. This is his stuff. This is all his stuff. I'm looking at 2, 3 screens right now. So yeah, yeah, we good. We good.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah, I'm happy.
Absolutely,
I'm really
absolutely.
happy we had this chat. Honestly, I think it was
100.
another
Me
great
too.
one. Um,
Me too, man. I appreciate you. I
I
appreciate you
appreciate you too,
100%.
dude. I look forward to seeing you pop off. And I think you have big things coming for you. I think a lot of us do. I think this is gonna be Montreal's
Yeah,
decade for real.
that's right. That's right.
Um,
That's right. It's definitely bringing the ones that needs to be together back, in tune and get everything really get the ball rolling for real. So definitely this is a good stepping stones.
yeah, and I really like that. So I appreciate that again. So I'm gonna just, I guess, do the little wrap up thing. So yo,
Yes,
thank y'all
yes.
for watching this. Appreciate y'all being here. Definitely feel free to leave a comment, ask your questions, say whatever you got to say down there. Um, Definitely want to say, hit the like button if you like this, subscribe, follow whatever channel you're on, etc. Special thanks to the patrons: is Milk MC, Chris Prado, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black, Hurricane, Linda Williams, and Scribble. They support what we do. If you want to support what we do on Twitch, you can hit that little subscribe button. And if you're anywhere else, patreon.com/behind that suit. Show some love. You know what it is. On that note, we totally we totally appreciate y'all for real though. Love everybody that was here. Definitely want to say though, live long and prosper, everyone.